onto it, it would have done that. Not thinking, oh, I wish I would have held on to it. Why'd I do that? No, see, it's how you log and journal. You retain the positives and you don't record any of the negative stuff. Because when you record it in your journal, negative, your subconscious retains that. And you anchor a toxic event around something you're trying to grow as a positive investment for your life. So you're shooting yourself in the foot, basically. You're trying to turn something you've been motivated to do for a positive thing, you're turning it toxic without realizing it. So that's why you're sugarcoating all of your journal experiences. You want it to be a love story to yourself. You're writing a love note to yourself every trading day. And you're doing it through charts. You're showing charts and you're putting little, I love what I'm doing. This is great that I can see this. And you're retaining that. Your brain loves that kind of stuff. Your brain loves it. It releases chemicals into your body that remembers it better than just the static memory of it alone. Think about it. When you went to a movie, maybe you've already seen this movie, okay? And you went there and you saw it with your friends. You saw it, it was all right, okay? And you were meeting this girl or significant other, and they say, hey, look, I really would like to see this movie. And you're thinking, oh, fuck, I've already seen this movie. All right, well, they want to go. I don't want to be a jerk. Let's just go with them. And you go to the movie, and you have a great time. They're holding their hand, and they're, the experience there. And now all of a sudden, that movie has a positive attachment to your memory versus, yeah, I saw it was all right. Now, you got somebody that's nice to you, that smells next to you, that's like beautiful, and it's a totally different experience. And now you add to it what? All the embellishments of what happens after the movie without being crude. And it doesn't necessarily mean the bedroom either. Going to a dinner, taking a walk and saying that was a great movie, I love having time with you. All those things are positive things that you're remembering. When you break up with people, as painful as it is to think about the things that caused that breakup, when you're not with them and they come to mind, what do you think of? I miss them when I used to do this with them. And you miss that, you ache because you made what? A positive memory about that moment with that person. And every time you think about that song when it comes on, that's why it hurts. Because you can't plug into that good feeling anymore. It's been cut off. So you don't ever want to invite that shit in your journaling. Journaling is always positive. You never, ever, ever say anything negative in your journaling, ever. Even if you did something wrong, you say, okay, this was an amazing opportunity for me to get the insights for when the market does this. You see how I just did there? I discharged and disarmed any possible chance for me to look at that losing trade or an idea that I thought would have panned out in the marketplace that was, a perfect example, CPI. You saw two instances where I co-signed. I didn't have to do it, but I wanted to prove to you this is what I would expect right now, and it didn't do it. It just went right up the other way, or the other way to, going down. There was another time earlier in the summer where I did it where Kayla was right next to me, and literally was like, wow, that was so quick. But that same instance, I was right about it, but I wouldn't touch it. Of movement and price action on those types of events. If you're wrong, the way you disarm that is say, okay, this is why we don't trade ahead of the CPI number because it's too violent, it's too one-sided, and it's unforgiving. You can't trade your way out of it. You can't fix it. When the damage is done, it's like a neutron bomb, just boom, it's gone. All living organisms are evaporated. Everything else looks the same except for any living organism is gone. So you don't want to vanquish your trading career on one trading event like a CPI number. And you don't also want to stifle your development by recording highly emotional negativity in your journal entries. And it's easy to do. You feel like you want to do it. Don't go on social media and complain either. Oh, that's stupid so-and-so. Or I made a stupid mistake. I fucked up doing this, doing that. When you do that, you release it and it comes out of you. You think you let go of it, but your subconscious has got a lifeline to that. And it's anchored to your subconscious, and you will not cut it off. And the next time you get in the marketplace, what's going to happen is, all right, I'm getting in a trade. Oh shit, this feels like that last time it did this and this and this, and I, took a bigger hit than I was supposed to. I'm scared. Now you're worried about having a repeat of that same toxic event. That's normal with trading. You're going to have a losing trade. You're going to do something wrong. That's normal. Okay? Every one of us is doing it wrong. Okay? Every single one of us is going to have that. It doesn't mean you can't trade. It doesn't mean you're not profitable. It doesn't mean you have a good system or not a good system. It just means that you're human. But when you get in that trade, and now you're starting to think about that other time when I was at band camp, and that whole bad experience. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody that went to band camp, but no, I didn't go to band camp. But if you look at the logic of referring back to another trade, while you're in that trade, are you managing that trade? No. You're managing fear about another trade that you can't make more on or lose more on. So your mind's divided. So the way you avoid all that shit is not to give it any energy in your journal. You take every experience, positive or negative, profitable or negative, a loss, and you make it an instructive, positive installment in your development. When does your development stop? When you're dead.
Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. We really want price trade higher right now. And I've been very excited about using my own audio in the background for my videos for a while. So I worked on this video, got it from one of Michael's Twitter spaces, and put a little background music on there. Last video, you guys weren't very happy with it, had a lot of negative comments. People saying the music was too loud. So I ended up deleting it. And this is my newest video. Hope you guys appreciate it. So we want to see buy side here. It's very close, very close. So we'll give this a couple minutes and see if it wants to take this, and if so, we'll take off about 4 contracts on here. Alright folks, had a bit of a scare, so I took the 4 contracts off inside this volume imbalance just in case the algorithm wants to use this to reprice lower. And of course, it doesn't look like it wants to do that, so that's good. So we still have buy side up here. So waiting to see if that wants to get traded too. But having taken off a majority of the position, I actually feel good about the trade and not fearful if it hits my stop, because I already took most of it off. So down close candle here before this expansion higher. Very good order block. And I really like the fact that this one worked this busy in here too. So I don't want to see more than mean threshold. No, that's not good. Next, we have consequent encouragement of the wick. It traded to that way too easily. Way too easily. Yeah. So typically seeing price like that, you wouldn't want to stay in the trade longer. And this candle, I don't want to see it be used as a bearish order block. In all likelihood, it might be. So that's why I took the stop myself instead of waiting for it. So let's see if it's just is something I might regret. I doubt so. So we have mean threshold of this order block. It could trade into it and sink lower to take out sell side liquidity in here or down there. So we'll give that a few minutes to see how that one works out, and we'll come back. Alright, getting closer, looking like I was wrong for taking the stop, but that's fine. So initially went long inside this volume imbalance. Then we saw this SIBI, and I extended that, and I knew in all likelihood you might want to trade to that. So did that, got another two contracts at 41, 48 and 3/4. And here, I really like that entry. And from there, we had a 5-handle move right there. Took partials here, close to that volume imbalance, and close the trade down there, fearing that it would aim for my stop loss, which it hasn't yet. But overall, I can justify both sides of the markets, and that's ICT's high probability tester. So whenever that's the case, yeah, I'm out. Especially look, this low, this one, this one, this one, and then we have these relative equal highs in here, this high, and then we had a higher high. It's not really anything you want to participate in. Let's see. I actually want to be able to outline the whole last hour trading session. So I think I'll pause the video and then we'll pick it back up whenever anything interesting happens, because I really want to see how this one pans out. All right, folks, we're back. Had to grab something to eat real quick. Running on coffee all day long. Have some peanut butter and some bread. Not a lot, but that'll get me through this session, and I'll eat my one meal a day later on this evening around 6. Not that any of you really care, but felt like talking about that. So buy side taken. Next drawn liquidity would be this high, 41.55 and 3/4. But overall, I think I'll stop the recording and then I'll just tape read the rest of this. And I apologize for not posting as much. Been caught up with a lot of administrative work for most of my private clients and a bunch of business stuff. And now I really want to do a little bit of change with the YouTube channel moving forward, seeing what kind of content I want to put out there. But I'll be posting regularly by the end of the week. So thank you guys for being patient with me. And of course, have a wonderful rest of your day.